And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another broadcast here of the HomeStory Cup 27 Group Stage Replay Cast. I'm of course HSCXXVII. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat. Welcome one and all to our catch-up stream of matches that occurred during HomeStory Cup. For those that are curious, we were live. We were live over the weekend covering HomeStory Cup 27. We were the official B stream. We were covering the group stage and the playoffs as well. All the VODs are available on YouTube and for a time on Twitch as well. But after we covered those matches, of course, when it comes to the group stage, the problem there was that there were 3 matches happening at the same time, and there were only 2 English streams. We had the main stream and we had the B stream, but there was no other side stream available, so a third of the games were never casted. They were, well, I should say just under a third, because there were definitely some times where we were able to cover 2 series back to back, just because one series was faster, the other series was slower to start. So there were some exceptions, but in general, around a third of the matches were not broadcasted, in English at least, so we're here to catch up on those matches. Let's go. We're here to catch up via replays. So bearing in mind, these are games that happened over the weekend, so this is going to be a replay cast, and we do have 5 matches ready for us here tonight. Up first, we have Gerald versus Moja. Again, we're going to be jumping into Group C. Yesterday we were live with Group A and with a couple of Group B matches. Here we're live with Group C and a couple of Group B matches as well. We'll have a final and third broadcast catching up on Group D, most likely in a couple of weeks. I say a couple of weeks, our schedule's very full. It's very so I would love to cast like tomorrow or the day after, but Fusion Esports League, the qualifiers are coming up right around the corner, so we're going to be covering those qualifiers. We have MSO, we have KSL, we have STC, we have Wardy TV Monday, Pigstar Cup. Like, our schedule's pretty jam-packed for next week, so maybe in 2 weeks we can cover Group D. So Group D is going to be a little bit more delayed, but we'll get around to it. Eventually, before EWC. That is the plan. For now, though, we're going to be jumping in. Again, we're going to be featuring players like Gerald, Moja, Zan, Uwu, Thermal as well, alongside Spirit and Showtime. So we do have 5 best of 3s, and we're jumping into the first one. We're jumping into Gerald and Moja facing off on Maganatha. Let's go. Let us go. But I hope you've all been having a lovely week and a lovely time. Again, it was a pretty intense weekend when it comes to HomeStory Cup. Very intense, very intense. But here we go. We're jumping into game number 1 and spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Maganatha. We have the Polish Protoss player. We have the Blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the German Terran player. We have the Red Terran. It is Moja. We go again. Gerald, we actually just covered him last night. We were going through the podcast, and of course, Gerald, he was interviewed by the SC historian over at DreamHack Dallas. He was able to give us a little bit of insight as to how Gerald got introduced to StarCraft at a younger age, how he became a fan of StarCraft, and of course, even how currently he's, I will say, lawyer. He works in law. Maybe that's a better way of putting it. He did finish his degree, did finish his master's in law, and now that is of course working in that when he can, when he's not of course competing and practicing and training in StarCraft, and also has recently launched a new league, launched the Fusion Esports League, which is a big offline event happening in Poland, which also has some international representation as well, which we are going to be casting this weekend, specifically the qualifiers. The qualifiers are going to be this weekend for the Fusion Esports League, and Geralt is one of the organizers of said tournaments. He might still compete in it as well. We'll see. Curious to see if he does compete or if he's just there to organize, to cast even as well. He did mention how he was also casting I Am Katowice in Polish. For now, though, we're going to be settling in. Double gas opener out of Moja. Likewise, standard opener out of Gerald's Gate Expand into Gate Cybercore into Expansion. So standard opener here out of Gerald, and Moja being a little bit more tech heavy here. Also, welcome to Maganatha. And fun fact, we actually didn't get to cast Maganatha at all yesterday. It was a little bit more vetoed, rarely seen in these best of 3s. Great to see it here once again. Let's go. Maganatha, of course, being one of the larger, if not the largest map of the map pool, so it's one of the more extreme maps out there. We'll see how our players make use of it. We'll see how committed Moja is going to be as he opens up Rack's factory straight into Tech Lab. Now, with the earlier Tech Lab, this tells me that we have access to earlier Cyclone production. We can go into a starport, go into an add-on stop as the probe scout is denied. We'll not go for a one base all-in. Natural base is on the way. So he throws in a CC. Is building up. Yep, there's the add-on swap to go for the earlier Cyclone. Technically, we could try to go like tank into Starport into draw play, but there we go. Cyclone production has begun. And Gerald, he does have to be careful here with his initial move out, as he doesn't want to get caught out. Again, this is the risk you take if you do move out with the Stalker. Can hold its own against the Reaper, but again, it can also get caught up by the Cyclone. Stalker does zone. Oh, does poke in. Looking to delay the CC. The Cyclone about to pop out. And we'll shut this down. Yeah, it does shut this down here. Stalker wants the SCV. Oh, can he get it? What about us? Nah, he will. He will get it. The SCV does go down. Did not escape in time. And with that, does successfully delay the CC. But at a cost. At a cost of the Stalker. So I'll say a better trade here for Moja. Behind this, there's the Starport. Yep, going into the add-on swap. So we have the early Tech Lab into one Cyclone into Cloak Banshee, or into at least Banshee play. So there we go. Cloak is being researched. Cheeky moves there by Moja. Gerald, he is aware, in the sense that he's aware of the early Tech Lab, so there is a high chance that it is going to be a Cloak Banshee. He does know this. Technically, this could be a second Cyclone into a Medevac into a double Cyclone drop. Like, there are other avenues here. Oh, Reaper is zoned away. Barely does escape. Early tank production as well, Jesus. And this might actually lead into a move out. I was assuming just to harass, just to get damage done across the map. But Moja, he might commit a little bit harder here. At the same time, currently, how many gateways? 3. So 3-gate blink out of Gerald, very safe play. From here, he will be expanding. Now, the downside of what's going on here is that he is delaying his rover. His rover is delayed. Gerald, he does, he scouts. Yeah, he scouts, he knows. Hallucination does confirm that Cloak Banshees are coming, but this robo is late. And the Banshee's moving out. It's going to be close. It's going to be close here. Once the robo is done, we can chrono out the Observer. It's going to be very close. I believe damage should be done. How much? We're here to find out. Oh, nice interception. Stalkers, they move out. They find the Banshee. Cloak is done. Does force a Cloak early on. And remember, there is 0 detection right now, but the Banshee is being delayed. It's being delayed. It's 0 Cloak. Like, there's zero detection is what I meant to say. My apologies. So the rover is still on the way. Still no Observer. We're committing into Hyperflight Rotors. Are we going to mech? And again, the Banshee could be getting free damage to the natural, but a little bit too tentative. Yeah, Moja does miss his opportunity. Gonna be forced back. And Gerald holds. Gerald, he bluffs his way into a hold. Wait, he still doesn't have the Observer, by the way. But the Banshee never checked, never poked in. Moja, he kind of psyched himself out. He believed that Gerald would be ready. Banshee gets caught out. Does take down 2 Stalkers. But we're committing. We're just rallying everything across the map, and it is going to be mech. Again, once you see Hyperflight Rotors, it screams mech here from Moja. So second factory. Sending everything across the map. Gerald is the law. He is the law. No. Oh, nice snipe. Takes out one of the Banshees. Force field as well. Delays the push. Tanks are out of range. Barely out of range. Charge about to finish up. But we got some shield batteries. Sami's still looking quite fragile here for Moja. There are tanks, yes, but is that going to be enough? Here come the Zealots. Can they tank those shots? Get on top of the Cyclone. Nice target firing here on top of the Stalkers. But Gerald, he will clean this up. Yeah, he will clean this up completely. From here, he can blink on forward. Dives on the tank and shuts it down. And behind this, Moja has nothing left. I mean, he sent everything across the map. Okay, he has 1 tank, he has 1 Banshee. He's making more tanks behind this. Again, embracing mech. 3rd TC's on the way. But that was a brutal loss for Moja, and he did 0 economic damage. 3rd base is still up and running. The economy untouched. 2nd tank has arrived. We can blink behind the mineral line. Does force a bit of friendly fire. Gets 3 SCVs. As the force field actually blocks in 2 SCVs as well, so nice cheeky move there by Gerald. At the same time, Banshee does hit the main, but there is a shield battery. Once again, forcing friendly fire, 7 SCV kills. Just setting in 1 Zealot at a time. Ooh, another tank shot goes off at 9 SCVs. Now going to be forced back. Here is forced back. Oh, catching at the Banshees. Just see Moja getting the Hyperfire Rotors, getting into just a, I was gonna say battle mech, but a bit of everything. We got a high tank counts, then Cyclones, then Hellions, Banshees. He's making it up. And the game will continue. Now, we spoke earlier how this is the largest map of the map pool, so going to mech here does make plenty of sense. You do have a lot of breathing room, you have a lot of bases to expand to as well. So Moja is looking to slow the game down. And we'll see what Gerald can get done. Banshees ahead towards the third. Likewise, Gerald is being active. Now, 3 Banshees, they can one-shot probes. There's a cannon to defend. There you go, 1, 2, 3 probes going down. Nice damage. At the same time, Gerald does push with his main army. And this siege line is looking quite intimidating here. There's a lot of Hellbats to protect the tanks, but they're not quite in position. They are exposed here at the left-hand flank. And the goal of these Zealots is to close that distance to get on top of the tanks to force friendly fire to break through. But I believe there should be enough Hellbats. Yeah, and they rotate. Yeah, they reposition. Army gets spotted. Moja's aware. And as long as we have the Hellbats here to tank in front of said tanks, he should be okay. Tanks through zone. Banshees hit the right hand side. Soldiers they defend. Prism behind the army. Oh. Warping is denied. So far, Moja, he is turtling well. Oh god, and we're going to Skytoss. God damn it. Alright, we're going to be here for a while. Despite the aggression of Moja, we're stabilizing 3 bases. Gerald is getting a 4th expansion. I will say this 4th base is late for Gerald, so that is slowing him down. Ideally, he does want to be up an expansion and is working towards Skytoss. Double Stargate, Fleet Beacon, in towards Tempest production. So we're going to strap in, settle down. Prism goes down in the main. We can see Gerald try to reposition. Oh, massive on siege though. Uh-oh. Moja, he does on siege. Not quite ready for this. Banshee goes down. Army gets spotted. And Gerald's ready for the Zealot run by. He's ready for it. Slowing down the army. Yep, Zealots are moving in. Back at home, there's nothing to defend. There's no bunker. There's no Marines, of course. Gerald's slowing down the push. Catching out some of the Hellbats. So I'll say catch reinforcements. They're catching at Hellions, Hellbats, Cyclones as well. SME's going to be falling. Moja's committed. We can still see Gerald trying to zone down. Trying to. Oh. Okay, we need Zealots more than anything. 18 SCV kills. Getting on top of the depots. Charge will start amassing. Storm is going to be okay here against some of the Hellions and Hellbats. They nibble away at the Cyclones. Oh, but Gerald's in a rough position. And where he wants to be. Massing up Void Rays. Interesting. Void Rays on Tempest. Storm on the tanks. Zealots, they're having a hard time engaged. Miscontrol there from Gerald. He does miscontrol. Gets on top of some of the tanks, but again, he took a lot of hits to the face. Across the map, he's cleaned up. But at this point, Moja's all in. Like, Gerald, he's on 80 probes. He just has to slow down, warp in more Zealots. How many gateways does he have? 8. Ooh. Soon to be 11. 11 gateways from Gerald. And now he comes in for a full surround. And he will clean this up. Yes, I'll say collapse in the army. They take down every single tank, and with that, GG gets called. Gerald, he takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG will play again, just really slow and steady there from Gerald, just buying some time, warping in more Zealots, getting the full surround on Moja. And again, I'm a little bit surprised that Moja moved out when he did. He wasn't maxed. Moja, he wasn't maxed out. He was on 3 bases. He did go for the mass unsiege and the mass push. Unfortunately, he got scouted and he got punished for it. As he moved out, Zealots ate the natural. When that happened, I was like, okay, now's the moment where Moja can turn back around and defend, but he decided to go for the all-in. He committed to the all-in, and lastly just ran out of steam. This is where the large map that is Magnatha works against him, right? It takes so much longer to get across the map, to get within range of any bases and to apply any pressure, and throughout all of that, Gerald had more time to nibble away at the army, to get more warp-ins, and to defend. GG well played. With that, Gerald takes the lead, and now we're getting to game number 2. Let's go. Game 2 is going to be on Tokamak, another one of these larger maps, which means we might see mech again. No. Let's go. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Tokamak, we have the Polish Protoss player. We have the blue Protoss representing Streamer Zone down in the leading the series 1-0. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the red Terran player, with the red Terran himself. We have the German Terran. It is Moja. Again, Moja, he forced himself into an all-in last game, and he just tried to commit across the map. I do think that he had the option to just turtle and just do what mech does best and just slowly get a 4th base and then max out and turtle up, but chose not to. Chose not to go for that kind of style. Was more active instead. And we'll see how we'll approach Tokamak. Tokamak is a more defensive map. The bases are a little bit more centralized. They're close together. They're easier to rotate between and to defend, so this is where a player like Moja can be more successful when it comes to turtling up, but will he? That is the question. Because he did decide not to last game. For now, stay that opening. Gates have expand, and Moja going for a different opener this time, going for a single gas into a faster CC. So economic opener out of Moja this time. Remember, last game he went into a fast Cyclone, into fast Cloak Banshees, which didn't quite achieve too much damage. Again, we saw there were opportunities. True, there were opportunities for the Banshees, but Moja, he was playing a little bit more tentative, a little bit more safe, and he didn't get much done as a result. Here we go. So probably shut down. Behind this, we do have our factory on the way. So far, everything's looking normal for the time being. I say that once again, early tech lab. So it's still racked expand. So this is a later tech lab than last game. But tech lab nonetheless, into add-on swap into, once again, early Cyclone. This can once again lead into a starport, into an add-on swap into Cloak Banshee. That is available here to Moja. He's getting here in a different way. Again, it's a later factory. It's a later setup, but still the same kind of end goal, end game. Dep does move in. The Cyclone is going to be later here, so that means more damage is going to be done. CC does complete, but mining should be denied. There we go. Does scouts. It does get eyes on the tech lab. Is where the Cyclone. And from here, has to get the hell out of here. This time, Gerald will not lose a unit. CC will eventually reposition. And do we keep the tech lab on the factory? We are. Okay, we're keeping it on the factory. So it is going to be a Widowmine. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Oh no! The Adept will confirm, will even delay. Not like this. Gets underneath the starport, and with that heavy delay here on the Banshee, and scouts everything. Oh no. Yeah, the shade will delay as well. You cannot land on the shade. Finally, can land the building, can land the starports. And we're going into, oh, fake Cloak Banshee. Okay, Raven alongside Interference Matrix. I mean, this is delayed. It's possible that the initial plan was to go Cloak Banshee, but because of the delay, because of the scouts, has shifted gears. And Hallucination will confirm. Behind this, Gerald just taking a third base. Behind this, going 3-gate blink into a third standard opener here. A very safe opener out of Gerald. The same build he went for last game. Hallucination does confirm the research, but as we mentioned, this is a bit of a fake out. He has to confirm what comes out from the starport, and he won't be able to. It does not confirm the Raven. Now, in my mind, we're going to cancel Interference Matrix, but he might let it finish. It's a bit of an odd build nowadays. It's very out of meta. The reason for this is because it's not very common to go Colossus anymore. During the meta where we saw a lot more Robo-based openers and a lot more Colossus follow-ups as well, that is where this build and this kind of opener thrived. Oh, as we're meching, Jesus. As we're still getting to mech. Hallucination does get eyes on the Raven and also gets eyes on the factory. God damn it. Charge is on the way. With that Robo, we should be working towards Immortal production. Should be. So just break in. Stalker's a poke in. So far, Moja, he does hold on. Does defend. Behind this, working towards Archons, which is the ideal. Again, against mech, you do want charge lots, Stalkers, Archons as well, Immortals. Very robust ground army. Hallucination does poke in. And Hallucination will confirm. Does confirm all the factories, gets eyes on all the Ravens, sees everything. From here, Gerald just freely expanding, saturating, building up his own Immortals, working on his upgrades. We have +1 armor on the way. Again, that is to help provide or give the Zelts a little bit more sustain to be able to close that distance to get on top of the tanks. Moja just tries to sneak up on a Gerald. See in chat, is there a list of games that's going to cover tonight? No list, unfortunately, but we do have 5 best of 3s ready. Oh, catching out a couple Stalkers, nice lock-ons. I can go over it after this series. Go over the matches. We'll get there. We'll get there. Now though. Moja, he breaks out. He has yet to, my apologies, third CC, getting a third CC, there's no pushing. From here, he'll expand, and we'll see how aggressive he's going to be. We spoke about this last game, how Moja, he did go for the mass Sun Siege and mass move out as he took his third. Was punished for it by a Zella run by, but this time Gerald's not quite ready for that. This time Gerald is getting a 4th base, still getting his gateways up and running. I believe still in the low gateway counts. 8 gateways, not bad. So 8 gates, claiming his 4th. Prism is on the way, and Gerald, he will soon be active on the map. Soon be active. Likewise, Moja establishing his own 3rd. And we'll see if Moja does decide to turtle in and max out. That's really what I'm looking for here. Is he going to just slowly throw down some sensor towers, some missile turrets, throw down a wall of depots, then get a 4th CC as well? Personally, I think that's the correct way to play on Tokamak. Like, I do think there's, it's going to be quite difficult for Gerald to break a turtling Terran on this map, especially a turtling meching Terran as well. But that's not what Moja did on Maganatha. So, we'll see. Gerald looking for a way in. Hopefully he doesn't face check. Hopefully. Prism into the main. Warping will complete. Main army does push forward, but the tanks are sieged. Despite that, does get on top of the tanks. Yeah, 1, 2 tanks going to be going down. We get a storm, but yeah, we cannot engage. Gerald has to back the hell up. At the same time, Zelce still wreaking havoc in the main. Not bad, getting a tank, getting Hellions. Tank to Hellions, 6 SCVs. Not bad damage here, but nothing major. Trades well. Gerald, he trades well. Behind this, getting full saturation at his 4th. And again, Moja, does he move out? He wants to. This time going for Liberator support. And he does go for the Mass on Siege. Okay, so just like last game, he's going for the Mass on Siege, Mass move out. He is not expanding, not getting a 4th base. He'll run into Gerald. Anti-armor missile does go off. Missile goes off. Moja will zone. Oh. He's slowly gaining ground. And a big shout out to Boomcool in the chat. Pappy God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for subscribing for 10 months, Pappy. Oh my God. Almost a year of support. Thank you, Pappy. Thank you so much for the support. We do appreciate it. Thank you for the entertainment. You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for the support. Thank you. Thank you. Oh. As Moja, he's pushing in. Tanks are slowly gaining ground. We can see Gerald getting ready for the surround. But he doesn't really have the best answer here for the Liberators. He only has a handful of Stalkers. Does catch reinforcements, a tank, a Hellion. Does spot more Liberators. Uh-oh. More Liberators are on the way. But Gerald, he commits. Yeah, tanks are on siege. Yeah, tanks are on siege. Storm here on the main army. Zeltz didn't quite come in from behind. Nice storms though. Zeltz there. Oh, a little bit late, but they do catch Cyclones. Not bad. And 3 Cyclones go down. Nice catch from Gerald. And this army is getting smaller. And now he dives in. Does weak 40, gets 1, he gets 2, he gets up to 3 Liberators, barely gets all 4. He cleans up all 4 libs, cleans up the entire army. He went down to 3 Stalkers, but he did have enough. And Moja lost everything. He lost everything. He did get a 4th CC behind this, but that was such a dedicated push from Moja. And once again, what did he achieve with that push? He traded with the army. He didn't kill a base. The 3rd was safe and sound. The 4th was safe and sound. The 5th base is up and running as well. The economy was untouched. And Moja's in danger. He's in danger. He's in danger. He's in trouble. Just now trying to expand, but he won't be able to. Yeah, he cannot hold on to this base. So he rotates. Storms will zone. Oh, God. Yeah, 11 SCV kills. Also, do hit the 3rd base at the same time. Just pulling Moja apart. Getting 16 SCVs, 17 SCVs. Deepers as well. Getting it. Oh God, these Zelts. I mean, Zelts, they're pretty crazy, especially against mech. Like Zelts, they're good against all things mech here, against Cyclones, against Hellions, against tanks, against SCVs. They're even more difficult to deal with. But if you had Bio, we just need more charge lots. Oh God. As he breaks through that defensive line, gets on top of the tanks, and that's the final tank going down. GG gets called, and Gerald, he will take the series 2-0. He will take down Moja. GG. GG. Gerald, he will claim it. A solid performance there by Gerald. I do think that Moja had some opportunities, both in Game 1 and in Game 2. Game 1, we spoke about the Cloak Banshee and how, unfortunately, he was just a little bit too tentative, a little bit too passive with them. He could have achieved a lot more damage. And likewise, just like in Game 1, here in Game 2, we saw Moja commit quite hard on 3 bases, but not really go for an all-in. He forced himself into an all-in, but he was still trying to expand behind it, and it felt a little bit awkward. It felt a little bit awkward, especially on these maps as well. Both on Magnatha and on Tokamak, the rush distance by ground is longer. It's more defendable as well. I would say it's easier on these 2 maps for Gerald to slow down Moja than it would be on Pylon or on Ultralove, for example, or even Leylines. or in those maps, I would say that the map would be favoring, you know, the pushing power here of Moja a little bit more. So yeah, it was some rough pushes there. In the end, Gerald just shut him down. GG. GG well played. Impressive play there by Gerald. And that leads us into our next matchup. Now, someone was asking earlier what matches we're going to be covering here tonight. We're going to be covering Gerald versus Moja. We're going to be covering Gerald versus Zaun, Zaun versus Moja, Zaun versus Ubu Thermal, and Spirit versus Showtime. So 5 best of 3s in total, and we're getting into our second matchup. Let's go. Getting into our PvP here between Zaun and Gerald.